The comments and statements made within the show are the opinions of the commentators and their guests, have not been evaluated by the FDA, and are in no way attempt to diagnose, treat, mitigate, cure, or prevent any disease or illness. The contents of the show are not to be construed as medical advice. If you have a health condition or health concern, please contact a licensed, qualified healthcare practitioner.
Oh my, what have you found, Franny? Let's see what they say. Latest and greatest. You found more. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Excellent sleuthing, Fran. Fran, I think this is a new case for the Supplement Super Sleuth. Dig, Franny, dig! Time to go down the rabbit hole and see what we can find. Goodness, where are we? Aha! Take a look at this. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Supplements Super Sleuth here. It's our 46th episode. I'll be airing this podcast approximately 2 times a month, and I'll be sharing perspectives on herbs, supplements, and a lot of ideas around natural health and healing. I'll also occasionally interview some key people and thought leaders in the natural health industry and natural medicine. And I'll give you an opportunity to hear their knowledgeable perspectives, sharing with all of you. Okay, today's episode is my favorite things, which I absolutely adore. Our spotlight this month is Milky Oat. Not oatmeal, although oatmeal is a superfood and has many studies on its positive effect on cholesterol and other cardiovascular markers. So, Milky Oats, also known as wild oats or cat grass, is a slender grass with seed pods that, when you squeeze them, they release this milky white kind of, we call it a latex, but it's really a liquid. And that only happens when they're immature or they're really, really young. And depending upon how they grow, Milky Oats have 2 Latin names. So when they're found in the wild, we call them Avena fatua. And when they're cultivated, we call them Avena sativa. And oat, like rolled oats or steel cut oats, are also Avena sativa. It's just that they are picked at a later date than milky green oats. Okay? Sativa means cultivation, and those are domesticated strains of the species Avena or oats. So wild milky oats are commonly found in a variety of grassland sites throughout the country, especially in sandy or poor soils, which is interesting because they're really nutrient dense, and we're going to talk about all the nutrients that are in wild oats, but they grow in these really poor kind of soils. Like they'll frequently appear on road verges or just kind of growing, sort of in the middle of Nowheresville. Oats were introduced to North America by early European settlers, and they've become a common weed in seed crops. In addition to that, common oat varieties originated from wild milky oats, meaning they all thrive in similar conditions with similar types of water, food, and sunlight requirements. Milky oats bloom from June to July, and then their seeds mature and ripen from August to October. And they have been cultivated for centuries as a valuable food crop and are favored for their nutritious and edible seeds that serve as a staple for many people. And while the mature seeds have commercial value as food crop, i.e. oats, the immature ones have medicinal significance and have been used in herbal medicine for eons. When squeezed, the immature seeds, the green seeds, release this milky liquid or latex, earning the plant its fitting name, that I've known them as Milky Oats. And oats have served as a staple of food throughout history. They were among one of the first grains to be cultivated by man for sustenance. In the United Kingdom, specifically in England and Scotland and Ireland, oats, especially Scotland, oats played a significant role in culinary traditions, like oat bread or is absolutely considered a delicacy at the time it was first cultivated and produced in Scotland and the UK. And initially, oats were fed to horses before they gained recognition and became an essential component of the human diet. Their versatility and high nutritional value contribute to their status as a beloved food source. And I love me some steel cut oats for sure. Even today, oats continue to hold a significant place in our diets. And over the years, Milky Oats have held a prominent position in traditional medicine and herbalism, revered for numerous medicinal properties that I want to share with you. So let's wind back the clock a little bit to the 19th century. A group of healthcare practitioners known as eclectic physicians extensively explored the benefits of oats. They specifically determined that oats in the milky stage, in that early stage when the seeds are green, and when the grains are young and tender, had profound effects on the nervous system. This stage of oats was considered highly restorative, making them useful in cases of anxiety and stress and sleep disorders. Additionally, the eclectic physicians utilized green milky oats for treating various conditions, including cardiac ailments, especially if related to stress, sleeplessness, muscle spasms, especially also related to the neck of the bladder. So when you have a spasmodic bladder, that's when eclectic physicians would offer green milky oats. And milky oats in this context emerged as an integral part of botanical medicine, valued for their therapeutic potential. In addition to that, the utilization of green milky oats for treating skin ailments can be traced back even further to ancient civilizations, such as the Egyptians and the Arabians, who recognized their beneficial properties as early as 2000 BC. The soothing properties of green milky oats were harnessed in their bathing rituals to relieve irritation and discomfort caused by dryness. Imagine if you lived in the desert, like Arabia and Egypt. Those are hot, dry areas. You'd have pretty dry skin. I mean, you could have a lot of inflammation. And also, green milky oats was used in conditions like eczema. The gentle and calming nature of milky oats made them an ideal choice for enhancing overall skin health and well-being in these ancient societies. And today, we continue to appreciate the natural benefits of green milky oats in skincare products and treatments. Although today, it's hard to tell if they're using whole rolled oats or not in some of the over-the-counter. But if you go to a natural health store, if you go to an herbalist, they will use green milky oats. And fast forward to the present day, milky oats are still utilized in natural health practices and with clinical herbalists. We love them. They're known for their potential cognitive enhancing effects, promoting brain health, memory, critical thinking, problem solving, and learning. Milky oats are also utilized to manage stress and induce the relaxation response, providing natural support for those seeking stress relief without sedation and improving their overall well-being. Milky oats have nourishing properties that support individuals recovering from addiction, helping with withdrawal, discomfort, and of course, be careful because, you know, when someone has an addiction, they should be in hospital working with professionals, but they may be able to aid, whatever they're using or utilizing, aid an increased benefit using green milky oats for their overall well-being. For centuries, green milky oats has been recognized and valued as a nourishing herb. It contains a lot of active compounds. It has really interesting complex carbohydrates such as mucilage and starch that help soothe the intestinal tract. It has triterpenoid saponins, sterols like cytosterol and stigmasterol, proteins which are called abenins, indole alkaloids, flavonoids, and a range of important nutrients like vitamin E, which helps the skin heal, vitamins B, iron, manganese, zinc, calcium, silicon, and selenium. All great for the skin and for the gastrointestinal tract. Research on milky oat seed has revealed its therapeutic properties, including antioxidant, antispasmodic, cardiotonic, nervine tonic, and having many nutritional benefits. It also acts as a demulcent and emollient, which means it adds moisture to the skin and helps the skin hold on to moisture, providing soothing and healing properties for our dry, itchy skin in external applications like poultices. It's important to note that milky oat seed can be used in different forms, including infusion, tincture, topical applications such as creams, lotions, oils, and poultices. It is generally considered safe, but I am going to caution you here because individuals with celiac disease or gluten sensitivities do need to make sure that it is certified gluten-free and has been extracted and made in a facility that does not handle wheat or products with gluten in it. So that's something to keep in mind. And because of the versatile role of green milky oats, it can be used alone, which is lovely. It has kind of a creamy feel on the tongue, or it can also be used in combination with other herbs and dietary supplements to enhance synergistic and potent medicinal qualities. I want to share some recent research with all of you because milky oats is currently kind of a darling in botanical research, and it's starting to gain a little bit of a body of clinical support, and that, of course, is a really it doesn't change that it's been used traditionally for 2,000 or more years, but it does help us all to understand its mechanism of action better and to underscore that those traditional uses had accuracy to them. So a 2020 clinical study entitled Acute and Chronic Effects of Green Oat, Avena sativa extract on cognitive function and mood during a laboratory stressor in healthy adults. This was a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled, gold standard study in healthy humans. The research was written by David O. Kennedy et al. And published in Nutrients Journal, investigated the effects of green oat extract on cognition, mood, and response to stress in healthy adults. The study included 132 participants who received different doses of green oat extract or a placebo for 29 days. The results showed that both a single dose and a 4-week supplementation with green oat extract improved cognitive function, particularly working memory and multitasking abilities. The highest dose also decreased the physiological response to stress. However, there were no observed effects on mood. So this study suggests that green oat extract may enhance cognitive function and modulate physiological responses to stress. So that's incredibly promising, and it does underscore how it was used traditionally. There was another recent study from 2021 that was entitled Effects of a Green Oat Herb Extract on Cognitive Performance and Neurophysiological Activity. This was also a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled study, but it was written by Saul Martinez Orta et al., and published in Frontiers in Neuroscience Journal. And this study investigated the impact of green or milky oats called Neuravena. So this was an extract that was given a trademark. And this was on cognitive abilities and neurophysiological activity. The study employed a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled design with 20 healthy participants, and it measured neurophysiological activity using electroencephalo, so EEG signals, while participants completed cognitive tasks. And with a 20-person study, that's more of a pilot study, but it still gives us an idea. The study found that an acute administration of 800 milligrams of Neuravena improved processing speed, attention, and executive function as shown in tasks related to cognitive performance and neurophysiological measures, specifically certain measures of brain activity. And they go on to list 3 different kinds of brain activity. These were significantly enhanced, indicating better performance, faster reaction times. The study concluded that Neuravena positively influenced cognitive performance and had the potential to prevent the negative impact of tiredness during task performance. Overall, the results suggest that Neuravena could have benefits in improving cognitive function, especially during work. And that study was conducted in 2021. There was another study that was conducted in 2015 entitled Anti-Inflammatory Activities of Colloidal Oatmeal Contribute to the Effectiveness of Oats in Treatment of Itch associated with dry, irritated skin. So this study now is going to look at the topical application of, they call it colloidal oat, but again, that's milky oats. Written by Kurt A. Reinerston, PhD, et al., and published in the Journal of Drugs in Dermatology to determine the mechanism behind the anti-inflammatory benefits of colloidal oatmeal, a traditional topical treatment for skin rashes, erythema, burns, itch, and eczema. The study found that extracts of colloidal oatmeal were effective at diminishing pro-inflammatory cytokines in vitro, and a colloidal oatmeal skin protectant lotion showed significant clinical improvement in skin dryness, scaling, roughness, and itch intensity, which all happen in the wintertime, right? Especially when the heat's on. They concluded that the direct antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activities exhibited by colloidal oat extracts contribute to the dermatological benefits observed while using the colloidal oatmeal skin protectant lotion. Their findings suggest that colloidal oatmeal can be effective in treating itches associated with dry and irritated skin. Another study entitled The Effect of Topical Oatmeal Avena Sativa on Hydration-Related Skin Disorder, a systemic review written by Karinina Novani Segundo. And this was in 2023, just this past year, and published in the Journal of General Procedural Dermatology and Venerology, Indonesia. Reviewed varying literature on the effects of topical green oatmeal on hydration-related skin disorders. A total of 9,538 different studies were found, but their systematic review only used 5 randomized controlled trials between 2015 and 2020. These studies evaluated the effect of oatmeal-contained moisturizers on various skin disorders such as chronic pruritus, uremic pruritus, atopic dermatitis, irritant hand eczema, and dry skin. Despite variations in the form of oatmeal, because some of those were not extracted green milky oats, some of them were just colloidal from rolled oats. and the specific skin disorders, which were all over the map. The literature suggested that oatmeal-contained moisturizers can improve the clinical assessment and objective measurement of hydration-related skin conditions. Milky Oats seed has gained attention for its potential anti-cancer benefits as well. And that's due to its rich antioxidant content, its rich phenolic compounds. It has other bioactives like avenanthramides, which have shown anti-inflammatory and anti-tumor properties in studies. In a 2019 study that was entitled Overview of the Anti-Cancer Profile of Avenanthramides from Oat, written by Eleonora Torini et al., published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, the researchers investigate whether certain natural compounds called avenanthramides found in oats can help prevent and treat cancer. And they call them AVAs, have been found to have anti-cancer effects by blocking harmful substances in the body and influencing different processes that contribute to cancer growth and spread. These processes include programmed cell death in cancer cells, slowing down the aging of normal healthy cells, regulating healthy normal cell growth, and preventing cancer cells from spreading metastases. Although AVAs seem promising as potential cancer fighters, more research and a lot more research is necessary to understand their effectiveness and ensure their safety through clinical trials and toxicological studies. One more review entitled Epidemiological Studies of Oat Consumption and Risk of Cancer and Overall Mortality. This I really like. I like it because this included just eating, rolled oats, steel cut oats, and it could also be the early green milky oats. This was written by Dr. Bofetta, Dr. Theas, and Dr. Chris Etherton in 2014. It was published in the British Journal of Nutrition. That's in a very esteemed journal. And it summarizes the epidemiological studies on the consumption of oats and its potential effect on the risk of cancer and overall mortality. A total of 7 studies were reviewed, focusing on cancer risk, including prostate, colorectal, pancreatic, breast, and endometrial cancer, and 1 study on overall mortality. The results of most cohort studies suggested a weak protective effect of a high intake of oats on cancer risk. However, the studies had limitations such as misclassification of dietary exposure, limited exposure, and potential confounding factors. Notably, no epidemiological studies have been conducted on the effects of just oats on cardiovascular disease and diabetes, despite evidence from experimental studies indicating a protective effect of oats intake on these conditions. And there are a lot of experimental or pilot studies on oats and cardiovascular markers. There's so many of them. Go look them up. It's crazy. But they don't take it to the researchers don't take it to the next level because it's almost assumed. But overall, the evidence from these studies suggests a potential protective effect of oats consumption against certain types of cancers. But more research is needed, of course, to fully understand its impact on chronic disease risk and mortality. So, and I have to say this, that grains often today get shoved in the corner of, complex carbs are bad for you. I'm, whole grain or the extract of early green oat seed, where we're talking about something else, compared to, highly processed flours made into, muffins and baked breads and cookies and cakes and stuff. So If you tolerate whole grain and you are not a celiac, you may really consider oats in your diet. But Milky Oats, in general, Milky Oats are really considered gentle, and they're very well tolerated by most individuals with no known side effects or drug interactions when used both internally or externally. However, for individuals with celiac disease, we have to give you really need to pay attention. This may not be right for you if you have a gliadin, or wheat sensitivity or celiacs. Milky Oats grown and processed with wheats or other grains can contaminate the oats, posing a risk for those who have celiac disease or gluten and gliadin intolerance. You should choose certified gluten-free oats grown and processed separately from wheat to ensure safety. And additionally, oats contain avenin, which is a protein that's very similar to wheat's gliadin, and that can trigger reactions with those who are celiac, very advanced sensitivity. So sensitivity to avenin varies among individuals. And another little kind of note bien and be for individuals who have hypoglycemia, when you consider Milky Oats, it's important to approach it with a little bit of caution. Milky Oats contain very concentrated carbohydrates, which are generally good for us. They help us recover. They help feed our muscles. They help feed our brain. Our brain is a glucose hog. But if you have very sensitive blood sugar, having a big bowl of oats and even just having an extract of Milky Oats may affect your blood sugar levels, and you may feel them go up and then bottom out. So test it if you're hypoglycemic. If you're celiac, you may not want to use Milky Oats or oatmeal. And other than that, you're pretty good to go. Okay, this episode is fast coming to a close. And if you're wondering who I am, I'm Nan, and I've had a complimentary health and herbal clinic, both part-time and full-time, for more than 30 years. And I focused on difficult to treat conditions. I've also been a spokesperson in the educator and natural products industry for more than 25 years. During that time, for some of the more reputable and well-known companies. Yes, I saw behind the curtain. I was behind the curtain for a very long time. So you can connect with me in person by going to my website, www.watersedgewellness.com, or by reaching out to me through my social media sites. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You'll find my TikTok page under Herbal Answers. And if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe and like the Supplement Super Sleuth wherever podcasts can be found. And don't forget to share my podcast with interested friends and family. It would also be of really great interest to me if you might share the subject matter that you're interested in hearing about in the natural health field, or supplements that you're interested in, or herbs. Just let me know what you want to hear about. You can do that by adding comments on any of the social media sites. I'm really interested in what you might want to hear about or hear my perspective on. You may have heard other people's perspective, and you might think, I wonder if Nan has a different idea about it. I might. Okay, with all that, I say, take good care of yourself, and I will see you real soon.
Well, Super Sleuths, we've conducted a very thorough investigation of this case, and we've learned a lot. Fran, you can show us the way home now.
What are you doing?
Fran, you're amazing! We're home! Tune in again for the next Supplement Sleuth adventure. Take good care, and Fran and I will see you soon. Say goodbye, Fran.